Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Talk Network channel. Welcome to check me out on Patreon. Help me out. It's one of those you helping me, helping you sort of things. So I can get an actual camera, tripod, and a better laptop, other things to make the viewing experience for all of you better. So welcome to check me out on Patreon. Patreon.com/Sports Talk Network. Also, welcome to follow me on Twitter at Army_strong_06 as well. This video, SCR Sports Talk Network, actually talking sports and the 2017 NBA draft specifically. Also, I wanted to apologize for not being on camera. I literally just got up from bed 5 to 10 minutes ago, so I'm still somewhat waking up, and I look like a mess, all the other stuff. So that's why I am not on camera. So I'm sure most of you don't care about that, but just wanted to share that. But anyways, 2017 NBA draft from last week was pretty good. Certainly was interesting to say the least with the selections, let alone with some trades going down. Dwight Howard being shipped from the Hawks to the Hornets, from Atlanta to Charlotte, and D'Angelo Russell being moved from LA. So there, the Lakers moving on D'Angelo Russell. If I could speak here, like I said, I just literally got up a couple minutes ago this morning because I have a busy day, so I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible. That's my dedication to this channel. I plan to get this video to do, and it's about to be done here on the Monday that I plan to do it. Winners and losers from the draft. In my opinion, some of the winners, I would say the Philadelphia 76ers. Sending the number 3 overall pick and the rights to the Lakers or Kings. Either way, it's boldly moving to put us, a team. It tells our fan base to trust the process. Them being a young team, a team that in time can actually be something, but I don't know. We'll have to see if the players A are able to stay healthy, B work together, and C if the fans really can trust the process, because it's gonna be a long process. But as they say, even in the NFL, going or any sport, I would assume going young, going with draft picks more than free agencies. Then again, it's also free agents not wanting to go 76ers, but still, building your team through the draft and in that way is usually the best way in how to grow your team and make your team better and make it into something. So I'm sorry, but 36 drafting Marco Fultz and going from there, I think their team is solid. Also, another winner, another team on the rise, besides my Milwaukee Bucks. But these two teams are on the rise, but they're starting from the bottom. The Bucks are at least already a couple notches above these teams, but still need to be on the rise. So, if that made any sense, they're at a different level on their rise to something, rise to fame, rise to success. And again, I want all NBA teams, all 30 teams, 30 or 32 teams in the NBA, all the teams in the NBA to be good, to be something. Yeah, there'll still be different levels of a good, but make it unpredictable, make the playoffs better, make the playoffs actually interesting, right? Worried about the next couple of years of it just being the Golden State Warriors and Cavaliers dominating. I want the 76ers in the mix, my Milwaukee Bucks, Stephen A's, Indiana Pacers, Jade's Cleveland Cavaliers, other teams, other people's teams, all the teams to be somewhat and as close as it can be to equal footing, and making the NBA interesting again. And if that happens, trust me, the NBA will thrive in attendance, live crowds for each games, thrive in viewership and the ratings on television, thrive in their playoffs, in excitement and entertainment, because you can literally promote it as anything goes, any team can win, and that's what I want. That's what I like in WWE and pro wrestling, in multi-men, multi-women matches and those storylines, because you think literally anybody could win that match. Yeah, we might have our favorites and might think that way, but whatever. You never know. Here in the NBA, if we can actually get competitive balance, that could be the same as well. Now, I know that might be a pipe dream and whatever, but it's what I would like. I'm sure there's a lot of other NBA fans that are like-minded like me in that way. Maybe not a lot, but I'm sure they are. And if you are one of them, let me know in the comment section below or like the video in itself. But that's just what I would hope for an NBA in the future, whether it's next year, 10 years from now, whenever years from now, that being the case of all the NBA teams being somewhat equal footing and anything goes, any team to be the NBA champions in any given year, right? Could be a situation if we get to that point where one year, let's say my team, the Bucks win, and then the next year it's the Pacers, and then it's like different teams each year winning the title. That's actually a good thing, not a bad thing, right? Yeah, I guess it's not getting a dominant team, but it's having interesting and better competition for the NBA, or better interest and more competition within the NBA and the teams, and more interesting for all fan bases in the NBA, because each year your team could be next, your team could win. You still could get back-to-back champions. Beyond that, at least in my thinking, in my NBA, there's no dominant team. There's no super teams. There's no this, there's no that. But again, that's not reality. But I would hope that maybe sometime in the future, that can be reality. Maybe we have to wait for Chris Paul, LeBron James, and others of the superstars of today to retire, because then the superstars of tomorrow in the NBA and of the future may have the same thinking as me. Yes, individually they want to win championships and want to go to teams that do that, but seek out other teams. Believe in the process of building those teams. Phoenix Suns, hello. Sacramento Kings, hello. Other teams, there are other teams in the NBA, and they all, in their own way, are building their teams, trying to become something greater. But just, I don't know, didn't mean to go off that diatribe, but just want to share my opinion on things. But anyway, the second winner in the draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves. The reason why I got on my rant. But from what I was hearing, I'm sure, and also from what I was hearing from ESPN and other things, as they say, word on the street, coming into the NBA draft was that Tom Thibodeau wants to get a veteran to help Minnesota speed up its rebuilding process. Man, I can't even read my own notes. Rebuilding process. I think he did that. Sending Chris Dunn, Zach LaVine, and the number 7 pick to the Bulls, and bringing Jimmy Butler coming to the Timberwolves, the T-Wolves. So now they, Minnesota Timberwolves, have Butler alongside Karl Towns, Andrew Wiggins, and others to try to get the Timberwolves to the playoffs since I think it was 2005, 2004. It certainly would be cool for their fan base, for sure, obviously. And I would even say the Lakers were winners. Lonzo Ball being drafted there, LaVar Ball being LaVar Ball and saying what he said about his son taking their team to the playoffs right away, and he'll have a hat that says "I told you so" and all that other craziness. But hey, I respect LaVar. As I was talking to my friend the other night about this and about his thoughts on the draft and this and that, and when I brought up LaVar Ball, I kind of brought up to him too. Don't hate the player, hate the game. That simple quoting, phrasing thing. It's true in this case. If you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at the media that always seek them out to get that sound piece, to get the ratings on their show, And I'm saying all media, not specifically just, a couple, all of them, whether it's big media like ESPN, um, or NBC Sports or others, like those big ones, to let alone even the growing ones, little ones. You want that, and you want that, and I respect that side of it, I guess. But still, what do you expect? So as much as you're ribbing him and dissing him on what he says, and he's too vulgar and this and that, you want it to stop. No, you don't. You don't want it to stop. Internally, if I myself become a broadcaster and part of the media, as I technically am here on YouTube, the lowest form of being part of the media, I guess, at least the way it's looked at by others. But if I talk to my colleagues, at least here on YouTube, and ask them, my colleagues on YouTube that talk pro basketball or just sports in general, and ask them, would you want LaVar Ball to stop saying what he says or stop speaking at all, stop being himself? I would get the real answer from them and be like, heck no. Or as they would say, hell no. Or, but heck no. How that drives people to my YouTube, to my channel, or the views and this and that and yada yada. And before you say that, then that person is being selfish. Everybody's being selfish. Newspaper outlets, media, like ESPN and others, technically YouTubers like me and others. Even though, as much as I say that, I was being selfish and putting LaVar Ball in titles of videos to get the views, I don't even think I have LaVar Ball's name. I don't even have the word ball. I don't have Lonzo, LA Lakers in the title of this video. I just have my thoughts on the entire 2017 NBA draft and how the Milwaukee Bucks did, which is my team, Milwaukee Bucks. That's the team I brought up in the title of the video. So yes, I'm talking about it, and yes, Lonzo Ball, LaVar Ball are part of the 2017 NBA draft, obviously. But I could have played the game that way, but I decided not to because that is not how I do things. That's not how I play. Okay. But I understand and respect in a way of how others do. But my point being is, as I've seen on ESPN and other media outlets saying, he just stopped this and he's bad for the NBA, bad for this, bad for that. Actually, he's the best thing for the NBA right now. Honestly, because without him and his craziness and I'm sure he believes in all the stuff that he says, Mr. LaVar Ball does. I mean, heck, I would love to obviously be able to speak with him. I know the likelihood of that happening is very low, but obviously I would. And again, not just for the ratings, but to hear, to speak to him and get to know him on a deeper level and to understand him and why he is the way that he is. In the end, he's just a father that believes in his son, believes in all his sons. He might show that in his personality to a 10th degree sort of thing, but still, in the end, in the simple terms, I think that's what he is. And I can't hate him for that. Because if I ever have a son, or son or daughter in any sport, let's say I have a daughter that's good enough to go to the WNBA. And this like that, I would be there saying, hey, she's the best. She should go number one. She'll lead her team to the playoffs right away. She's your missing piece. You'd be a fool not to draft her. I might not be as outspoken as LaVar, but I'm not like LaVar. I don't have that confidence. And I don't mean I wouldn't have that confidence in my daughter in my fictitious story here. Then again, I do hope to have kids in the future. So who knows? You never know. It could be factual in the future. Point is unlike LaVar, I'm more reserved. I'm still shy a little bit. I'm still don't swear, as you can tell here on my channel. I try not to. I'm still reserved in that way. But I still would say some of that stuff as he does, just not in the way that he does. That's the difference. I would say the same things, but the way that I present them and the way that I say them, or I would say them to the media if I was talking about my daughter in the WNBA before the WNBA draft, or my son before the NFL draft. If I had a child that was good enough to be a professional athlete in whatever sport it is, that I would still say the same things as LaVon does. I just don't want to say it in the way and in the manner that he says. Just like President Donald Trump. So most of the stuff that he said during the campaign and now as the President of the United States, I agree with. Not everything, but say a good percentage of it. But the way that he said it, the way that it came out, his delivery of it, I guess in a way, is what rubbed people the wrong way. I believe, in just my opinion there. More of how he said things than of actually what he said. So in the same case with our president, is with Lamar Ball. You know, I think what he's saying most would understand and respect, I would hope. But how he said it is why people hate on him. Plus, some people are jealous of him too. Also, another winner of the draft, Sacramento Kings. Again, 3 teams here. 3 teams. The Sacramento Kings, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Philadelphia 76ers here, winners. Also, the Milwaukee Bucks were winners in my eyes. So 4 teams. But the Kings, I mean, come on now. DeAndre Fox picking there. We're going to stack the lineup. Having a team, again, young and ready to roll. You know, if I had to, you know, as I do my bold predictions for NFL game, for the NFL, and I will be doing that, Talking Packers with Steve, my NFL podcast will be returning in mid-August. But here in the NBA, since we're talking about right now, I'm going to make my bold prediction for the NBA. Last year in the NFL, I made a bold prediction before the season started that the Raiders, the Buccaneers, the Jaguars, and the Rams would make the playoffs. Here, I'm going to say my bold prediction is that the Timberwolves and the Lakers will make the playoffs, and the Sacramento Kings and the 76ers will be making the playoffs in time. Right? I kind of felt like I had to make it still 4 teams like I did in the NFL, but different kind of thing. 2 teams I have in my bold prediction making it this upcoming season in the playoffs, being the Timberwolves and the Lakers, and then for the future, the 76ers and the Kings. But we'll see how all that goes. A team that won't be going to the playoffs anytime soon will be the Chicago Bulls and the Boston Celtics will be going to the playoffs, but I would still call them both Bulls and Celtics losers in the draft and just how things were done there. Paul George, need to get some done there. Hopefully he goes to the Lakers. If he goes to the Lakers in the future, I think that would be grand. I think that's where he should go, to the Lakers. Paul George should go. But also look at all 32 teams. And make a decision there because you never know. Eyes wide open, right? So, but hopefully you guys enjoyed my thoughts and coverage of the NBA of the 2017 edition of the NBA draft and my Milwaukee Bucks. EJ Wilson joining the team. Welcome to the organization. Ready to rock and load, ready to roll. Feel the deer, all that stuff. We got this. Milwaukee slowly growing. I mean, heck, next year I have us hopefully making the playoffs and winning a series and moving on and going from there. Again, it's going to be a feeding frenzy if the NBA ever does become what I hope it becomes. But we'll see if that ever does become a reality. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Check out my channel and my other videos. Welcome to subscribe to the channel. Share this video with celebrities, NBA players, friends, people, whatever. I mean, technically, celebrities are people, but you know what I mean. With others and individuals that you may think like this video. And welcome to see my schedule. Technically, I have other videos that I've already created the live streams for my schedule for this week of videos. I have 6 total, and this is my first one of the week. Stay safe, have fun, and as always, take care.